Hello, my name is Debbie Mayo. My colleagues and I represent the Leagues of Women Voters of San Mateo County. I will be presenting the pros and cons on Proposition 18. Proposition 18 amends the California Constitution to permit 17-year-olds to vote in primary and special elections if they will turn 18 by the next general election. This is a legislative constitutional amendment. A legislative constitutional amendment is an amendment that changes our state constitution and appears as a state ballot measure because the state legislature voted to put it before the voters. The way it is now, in even-numbered years, California holds two statewide elections, the primary and the general election. In either election, voters nominate or elect candidates for state and federal offices and consider statewide ballot measures. During the primary election, voters choose the candidates that will compete in the general election in the coming November. Only a citizen 18 years of age on the date of the election may vote. Typically, local governments hold elections at the same time as state elections. Voters elect local office holders and consider local ballot measures. A person may pre-register to vote at 16 or 17 years of age. A pre-registered voter will automatically become registered to vote when they turn 18 years old. 18 states, along with Washington, D.C., allow 17-year-olds who will be 18 by the time of the general election to vote in primary elections. As of June 2020, there are 108,000 17-year-olds pre-registered to vote in California. What Proposition 18 would do, it would amend the Constitution to permit 17-year-olds who will be 18 at the time of the next general election to vote in the primary and special elections. The fiscal impact of Proposition 18: increased costs for counties, likely between several hundreds of thousands of dollars and $1 million every 2 years to send and process voting materials to eligible registered 17-year-olds, and increased one-time costs to the state in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to update existing voter registration systems. Arguments in favor of Proposition 18. This election reform will allow first-time voters to participate in the full election cycle, the primary election and the general election, and has the potential to boost youth participation in our elections. In the 2020 California primary election, youth voters aged 18 to 24 made up 14.5% of the population eligible to vote. However, only about 6% actually voted. Youth are extremely underrepresented in our electoral process. Studies show that voting is habit forming. Once someone votes in an election, they are more likely to vote again. Arguments against Proposition 18. 17-year-olds are most likely still in high school and are under the influence of teachers who determine their grades and provide recommendation letters which will impact their future. This environment could influence 17-year-old voters on school, tax, and bond measures, typically on a primary ballot. 17-year-olds are not legally adults. Federal and California governments have set the age of legal responsibility at 18. Restrictions are put on driver licenses of 16 and 17-year-olds due to concerns of maturity and judgment. Financial support of Proposition 18. Supporters have contributed about $95,000. There is no financial support noted for opponents. Proposition 18, yes or no? A yes vote would amend the Constitution to allow 17-year-olds to vote in primaries and special elections if they will be 18 at the time of the next general election. A no vote would retain the voting age of qualified persons to 18 years of age for any elections.